It is another wonderfully warm Wednesday because it is the summer finally here in Seattle. But that is okay because while it may be very hot inside, you can sit inside if you have AC somewhere and read comic books. It'll be very cool. If not, your hands are going to get all sticky on the comics and,
Yeah,
just
that's
no
gonna
good
go
after
from
that.
near mint to very fine real quick.
Yeah, real quick. I mean, you're just going to take they're just going to roll. I mean, it's going to be terrible. Anyway, it is Casey Morgan, as usual here, your two favorite comic monkeys on the internet. And
Let's not talk about that third one.
Yeah, no. What third one?
He's been deleted.
There's a third one? Really? Is that like the mysterious fourth man from Planet
Pretty much. The third monkey.
The third
This will be
monkey.
our next big storyline.
Actually, that's really good, Morgan. We're going to keep that. Anyway, starting off this week, we're going to hit you with some DC stuff in the video here with just the new #1s that are coming out this week because it has now just gotten out of hand. And you know what? There's new DC stuff every week, so there you go. We are going to start with Batgirl. That's right. Probably the breakout hit of DC for the last few years. Hope Larson, Raphael Albuquerque, Dave McCaig, bringing you the new adventures of Barbara Gordon outside of Burnside, outside of Gotham. In fact, she's going to go all sorts of places and beat the crap out of people because she's Batgirl. And she also eats sushi in here, which, actually looks really good and fights strange Japanese cosplaying bad guys.
Man, now I want sushi.
Right?
Ugh.
I want sushi too.
I don't have sushi, but I do have the first issue of the new ongoing Titans, starring none other than Wally West and the original Teen Titans, plus Bumblebee and Omen and a couple people that weren't technically original. But whatever. It's the classic 60s Titans, reimagined for the modern day by Dan Abnett and Brett Booth, sort of questing to uncover the secret of the missing 10 years of the DC Universe. This is going to be one of the key titles for the ongoing Rebirth storyline. It'll have clues as to what Mr. Twister was doing, who he's working for, why they stole these 10 years from everybody, and more importantly, how Wally West can win back the love of Linda Park.
Yeah, because you'd think that'd be the first thing.
Right? Well,
Yeah.
he tried.
He did.
He tried.
He got denied.
That was really sad.
That was really sad. He just got shut down. Speaking of unrequited love, Nightwing, #1, with special appearances by Batman, Robin, and of course, Batgirl, who I'm not going to explain the age difference or how any of that works. I don't know. I don't understand. Anyway, Tim Seeley, Javi Fernandez bring you the adventures of what is possibly one of the most popular DC characters ever. Dick Grayson's back in his Nightwing role, getting rid of that weird Grayson espionage thing that was kind of a cool idea, but Grayson's kind of a hero. He's not really totally suited for dark and nasty stuff. But yeah, this is him kind of resetting some things, visiting old friends, and back in the iconic costume. So.
And speaking of people back in their iconic costumes, Hal Jordan returns as an official Green Lantern, and not just a Green Lantern, but the leader of the Green Lantern Corps. This is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps #1, spinning out of the Rebirth issue from last week. This sees Sinestro retake the Parallax entity into his body. He gets that sweet white streak. I don't know why he was looking all old and crap in that issue and this one too, but that's because Robert Venditti doesn't know what he's doing with the franchise. Well, I didn't say that. But this is by Robert Venditti and Rafa Sandoval, and this will have the continuing adventures of both Hal Jordan and all your other favorite Green Lanterns.
That aren't in that other Green Lanterns book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because those aren't your favorite Green Lanterns.
Obviously not. That's
Although,
why
for the
they're-
record, I do like Gun Lantern. I think that's a decent idea.
We'll see how long that goes here. And finishing up, Red Hood and the Outlaws, #1. Former Robin, Jason Todd, kind of goes through a greatest misses of his life, I guess. I mean, really wouldn't be a greatest hits other than getting hit by a crowbar, which was really bad. But yeah, it's kind of
Just
cool.
like that joke.
Yeah, it was really bad. But yeah, he kind of goes through his life, and in between, the hellish retrospective moments, he rides a motorcycle and shoots people. Because that's how he, deals with it these days. Because the emotional problems that you're dealt after you're a Batman sidekick, I mean, can you imagine the pressure and the responsibility, and especially what happens, like dying and coming back, then having to explain that to Bruce Wayne and stuff? I wouldn't do that. No, I'd just leave. Anyway, yeah, Red Hood is starting again. More viciousness in the DC universe here.
And I have something vicious from the other superhero universe. Marvel has the third issue of the infamous Captain America Steve Rogers. featuring the still infamous Hydra Cap. He
Not
finally...
Nazi Cap, Hydra Cap.
Hydra Cap.
Thank you.
Let's be clear about that. We're learning more about his new upbringing after last issue's revelation that the sort of rejuvenation at the hands of the little cosmic cube child Kobik rewrote his whole history via the machinations of the Red Skull.
Machinations.
Yeah, so he's working for the Red Skull's Hydra, who's clashing with Baron Zemo's Hydra, and Steve, I think, is working on his own plot with maybe his own sect of Hydra, and it's weird. But Nick Spencer always handles giant conspiracy stories like that absurdly well. This also features Jack Flag, who is one of the best crappy Captain America sidekicks ever.
Yes.
Who later became a crappy Thunderbolts victim, and then a reluctant Guardian of the Galaxy, and now he's in a coma. It's awesome. He just cannot catch a break.
Like him and Jason Todd there, they could certainly go neck and neck.
Right.
And another highly anticipated comic from Marvel. Like you'd think that maybe they wouldn't put them on the same week, but they're gonna pull you in for this week on both these comics with Captain America and Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panther. Still art by Brian Stelfreeze and Laura Martin. This finishes up the first arc of Marvel's best-selling comic of the year, featuring the most badass of badasses, T'Challa, the King of Wakanda. T'Challa has had to face some stuff in this. Some real kind of like soul-searching and some unfortunate truth within his own once paradise of Africa. But now it's rife with strife and and other things.
Please keep rhyming.
I know. And other things that are really weighing on the crown. It is a heavy crown to wear, especially when you're as responsible and as smart as T'Challa. You're really going to have to think your way out of this and not just punch things like, Tony Stark does usually.
Alright, and my next pick comes from the other superhero universe, Valiant. They have the final issue of their acclaimed miniseries sequel, Divinity 2, written by Matt Kint and drawn by Trevor Hairsine. This is the story of two Russian cosmonauts who, upon reaching their destination in space, found themselves changed by the energies that they ran through, and found themselves with godlike abilities. Now, the two of them, once returning to Earth, had very, very, very different ideas of what to do with these powers. And the last couple issues have seen them actually finally coming in contact with each other and clashing, and this is the conclusion of that huge conflict, which may or may not have ramifications for the larger Valiant universe, but either way, it's going to be a great story.
See, Trevor Hairsine's really cool. That stuff's really good. Divinity's been fun. From other worlds, not superheroes. Kodansha brings you Queen Esmeraldas, sorry. Leiji Matsumoto, the guy who probably you most know for the really awesome Daft Punk anime video, the One More Time video. He did many comics. One of the most popular was Captain Harlock, and of that world is Queen Esmeraldas, who is the pirate queen and travels around in her really badass warship doing piratey things out in space. She comes across a small boy who escaped Earth by building his own spaceship because he was so tired of being on Earth, but he only made it to Mars. And he crash landed on Mars, and who does he find there but the pirate queen? And so begins his awesome adventures across space. Leiji Matsumoto is a true manga genius. This guy is awesome. His stuff has never really been translated in America. They did Captain Harlock like 20 years ago. It was a small little book, but that was about it. You've probably seen his anime and styling, but yeah, very, very cool. First hardcover of 2.
And my next book for you here is Wonder Woman number 3. This is the second part of the alternating story arc, The Lies, from Greg Rucka, this time with Liam Sharp, who's doing every other issue, trading off with Nicholas Scott on the Wonder Woman Year 1 story.
Oh, cool, they're running 2 stories.
Yeah, it's really neat how they're doing that. So if you only want to read one, Wonder Woman's only a monthly book for you.
That's really smart.
Right?
Wow.
Now, this sees Diana dealing with her relationship with the cheetah, actually, Barbara Ann Minerva, who I didn't know there was that much of a history between, other than, like, hating each other a lot.
Yeah.
But it's really, really touching, actually, the way that Greg Rucka handles that in this book. And it's also got Steve Trevor being, like, way grizzled with his, like, team of mercenaries that are, like, going into Africa or somewhere, wherever they are in this issue. I assume it's Africa. Where they just coincidentally happen to be in the same place, and their missions sort of converge in a way. He's looking for this warlord who's kidnapped a whole lot of villagers. She's going to get Cheetah's help to find Themyscira, and there's a connection between the warlord and Cheetah that I didn't actually see coming.
Cool. Very cool. Fantasy sports. That's right. I don't even like sports, and this is awesome. Sam Bosma from No Brow Comics is bringing you the second issue of his kind of manga-styled Indiana Jonesy fantasy adventure that he has to play sports to survive. This is really, really awesome. The first one saw some basketball action. This second one, you have volleyball. Because clearly what's more hardcore than, I guess, fantasy volleyball? I mean, when your life's on the line, I mean, yeah. And some baseball in here as well. But this is really fun. It's got that big kind of like kids book feel, kind of storybook thing. Really, really energetic art. Great colors. Total European type of manga stuff. This is really, really fantastic. It is already out of print, these type of things. If you want it, that's it. One shot, and then no dice. So highly, highly, highly recommended. $20. It is a little thin, but it is well worth the many rereads.
Mm-hmm. And you can pass it on to your kids too.
That's
they
right.
Say that about most comics,
totally,
but this one you actually can.
It's totally all ages friendly.
And something that's not quite all ages friendly. I don't think any part of this comic is actually.
Maybe the cut. Well, no, we're gonna take that back.
No. From Dark Horse and IDW, we have not just a crossover, but a three-way crossover.
A three-way match!
Predator versus Judge Dredd versus Aliens.
Yes.
Brought to you by the team of John Layman, yes, John Layman of Chew, and Chris Mooneyham off of Five Ghosts. He also did a Predator miniseries recently for Dark Horse. Possibly the last two people I would ever pick for this particular miniseries, but holy crap do they make it work.
This
my god.
Awesome.
Not only do you have Dredd and Anderson and a whole host of other judges, and an alien and a predator, but you've also got an army of animal people that look like they stepped right out of the 80s Turtles series.
Yeah, I know.
It's
it was
amazing.
Beautiful. It was so awesome. Like, really, that book is yeah.
Might be the sleeper hit to fill the Transformers vs. G.I. Joe size hole in your heart.
Feel you. Absolutely. And something that Mr. Tom Scioli is very influenced by, Kirby, Ditko, Machine Man. That's right. The King and one of the weirdest people to ever draw a comic book come together, kind of, to bring you Aaron Stack, Machine Man. Yes, Robot Brain needs beer. Same Machine Man. Created as a very strange addition to Stanley Kubrick's 2001, Kirby was hired to do a comic adaptation / sequel thing that he was like, you know what this is missing? Robot people. And you can't argue with him. I mean, really, you can't. So, Machine Man, written, drawn by Kirby, inked by Mike Royer. This stuff is truly awesome, totally maddening. They have the Sal Buscema issues that he crossed over into Incredible Hulk, and then the back issue of the book is after Kirby dropped off of Machine Man, they bring in Ditko. And holy crap, we're talking weird is a whole new level here. $40, the whole thing. Always buy Jack Kirby. Always buy Steve Ditko. Hail Machine Man and Robot Beer. Yeah. Yeah, totally. All about that. And I think that's going to be about it. Yeah.
I'd say so.
That's a lot of good stuff. As usual, always come in, please peruse the racks, and we will see you later on when you come get your comics. Thanks for watching.